should probably name this live stream. Which screen am I showing here? Okay, that's fine. I'll keep this up for a moment. Live. Let's edit this and we'll call this. Why is monetization off? That's dumb. Like, I don't make much money from this, but I really, yeah, let's make a little bit of money, I guess. I don't know, I think that's kind of dumb. And then, okay, we are good. I think that's kind of dumb. And then, okay, so, now you guys see my OBS screen. Let me add, so we display, and we have Windows. Let's delete that. We'll call this, I want to rename it. Rename day 1. And then we need a display capture. And then let's do the last one here. We'll call it D3, and we'll do the third one. Okay, you guys should. There we go. See my main screen. Okay, the chat's up on screen 3, which is fine. Oh wait, you guys are looking at screen 3, which is weird. God, I'm an idiot. Yeah, that should have been the second screen. I'm confused. I'm gonna look at my display settings. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Hold on a second. That's 3, which should actually be 1. Okay, well, then we're gonna call this D2. This one is D3. Okay, that's weird. Give it 1 second to figure this out. We'll call this D3. Yes, I know. Okay, let's try this. Call this D4. Rename this one to D2, and then this one will be D3 again. Okay. Is my webcam plugged in? It is plugged in. Okay. Although in hindsight, I should probably get a little bit more light, but that's actually doing a pretty easy job with that. Okay. Okay. So we have our center screen up. So I am on my racing PC here. So I am going to, here, let's bring up Facebook for a second here. I'm actually going to move that off screen. Let's actually put this over here so I can see both. So let's see if I can do it like this. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's go to build a PC. Where can I, okay, actually this has to be full screen so I can see. Your stream's bit rates currently, okay. Apparently I don't have this dialed in very well. Pretty sure we can do this without too much difficulty. So we are up to 4600, which is good. Here, and also let's make life easier by changing my primary monitors, refresh rate. Oh, they actually are set to 60 hertz already. Okay, perfect. See if it's still yelling at me. That was as of a minute ago, so it should be good now. Okay, stream settings. Okay, we don't want to give that out. The question is this what I want to give out? Okay, no, that doesn't really help me here. I need the actual, like, live stream. And if I go to my channel, I should be able to see that, right? Sorry, I just decided to stream tonight. There we go. Okay. Be able to see that, right? Now I can go on Facebook, build a PC. So there's that, and then I can't share this from here. I guess not. Okay, I'll go on my regular Facebook page. Okay. There we go. Now I have excellent connection. That's good. So let's go ahead and do this here. So I have one person on, which tells me my wife's probably watching. Right, not YouTube. Let's do pcpartpicker.com. Where is my phone at anyway? Oh, it's in my pocket. Didn't we explain that? And let me just make sure you guys have the right. Yes. Okay, let's shrink my face because nobody really wants to see all that, to be honest. There you go, perfect. Plus my hair is a mess right now. Okay, so let's see what's on sale right now. I actually don't know what I want to build next. Something I can make some money off of, ideally. $100 is fine. So ideally, the better the deal. Let's do core count at least 4. The better the deal, the better it works out, because if I can save more money, then I can charge a much more competitive price. Okay, so we're going to see a lot of, not that much older stuff here, but I just did a build with this processor, the 9100F, which doesn't seem to be here. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow, that's gone up in price a bit. So how much is that now? 87. I paid 72 for mine. The caveat is I also want it to be on Amazon. So if I unlist live replay once. Okay, that's okay. If I buy off Amazon, I do get 5% cash back, so that can become a big source of revenue. So I can charge less essentially. Actually, let's take a look to see what's been popular recently in my channel here. I'm probably gonna break some rules regarding this, but so be it. The $500 no compromise RGB gaming PC for Shadowlands this is weird. I actually don't understand this. A lot of views like dislike ratio in a tank. This one, I'm not entirely sure if I like this title or not, but so be it. It's doing okay. I like dislike ratio is a lot better. It's at 80%, but anyway. The next couple videos I have going up. Next one is this one right here. This goes up Tuesday. I built a $400 gaming PC. That's a pretty cool project I did. I reviewed a really basic $30 case. I reviewed a motherboard I had to do, and then this cooler, which, spoiler alert, wasn't fantastic. Motherboards have been hit or miss, so like this motherboard review is pretty good. That motherboard review, high like ratio, not a lot of views. This, I don't know why this one didn't do that well. That videos did okay. That one didn't. That one did fine, but I think these two did advertising money, so keep that in mind. This video, again, kind of just real quick did it. Took off that video. I don't think this goes on sale for a little bit, but we'll see. There is, let me look at laptops. Yeah, there's laptops going on sale at Walmart that I'm very much interested in. There's a $250 laptop that I'm really keeping an eye on here. Yeah, right now the laptop game isn't that great. Well, under 300 it's not, put it that way. Let me see what's in this Chromebook here. No, that's not great. Anyway, from the CPU side, this is a pretty good value. I really would like, so here's kind of the problem. 9100F and then you have the 2600. The 9100F is going to be better in most games. The 2600 has SMT or hyper-threading. So that one's tough. A lot of it's also going to depend on the board. So there is less cheap Ryzen boards available at this exact moment. Like B450 is hard to come by. So it really, from a sales perspective, 9100F or 9400F is a better purchase. AMD is a better buy if you're building yourself in most cases. 9100F is still going to have a higher single thread performance and higher clock speed. So in most games, it's going to outperform 2600. However, in my yeah, no, I am not. Mr. 7-Digit, I'm not building. A couple of reasons. A, you can't get one of those right now. B, I don't have a need for it personally. I am considering the new AMD cards when they come out. I haven't decided on that one yet. But right now I'm running a 1080 in this system. So I have two systems. I have one of the GTX 1650 Super to my laptop and then a GTX 1080. I basically play Flight Sim, which could benefit from a better graphics card. Forza Horizon 4, or Motorsport 7, I don't really play Horizon 4. Then WoW, League, Rocket League, games like that. So I don't really tax the system hard enough. But I have had as high as I've had as high as a 5700 XT and a 3900X. Yeah, palette, definitely really nice budget parts compared to usually, maybe not right out of the gate, but usually long term, if you go for like a palette branded GPU, you'll save a little bit of money. And if it's new, I mean, I'm still a big fan of EVGA. Like, that's always been my go-to. Actually, my go-to is whatever works with RGB. But here, let's look at what they're making right now. So right now they got nothing available, but actually none of these cards are worth a damn at the moment. But it's really hard. Yeah. Let me see if I can find. Here it is. This is the one you were talking about. Ooh, that is looking nice. I would definitely. I would like that card in the system. The problem that I have with this is, what RGB software does this work with? Hi, Fence Post. I don't know yet. Haven't decided. I'm definitely not going 3080 by any means. But oh, it's the Game Rock. Okay. The question I have for these is, what RGB software they work with? So normally with graphics cards, you're gonna either have to use proprietary software like EVGA has theirs, or if you match up like an MSI with MSI board, Gigabyte board, Asus with Asus board, what you can do is it'll actually read it on the software, and you have one software to control everything. So that's kind of the downside of me using a lot of ASRock items. Is ASRock really does make many graphics cards. I mean, I did have a 5700 XT, but Should be the graph. Take a look. Okay. Let's go here. Here we go. What the hell is that shit? Excuse my language. Okay, making sure my RGB is working. Dude, that's look. Okay. Okay, I'll be honest, I would own a shit out of that. But for the main reason of that is I do a lot of crazy stuff with fashion. If you guys follow me anywhere, you'll notice that. But yeah, so that's a bit nuts though for like the average person. That is pretty crazy. I got to give it that. But I would definitely own this card. But honestly, I would own it in one condition. That is that I can get a motherboard that I can just operate everything from. So where I was getting at was this. So this is like my RGB software here. So I can do rainbow effect to a degree, sort of. I mean, so let me switch my camera here so you guys can see. So everything's kind of controlled just by the software I have in front of me. So if I want to go static color, everything's green. Well, it doesn't show up in the webcam that well, but it is green. So yeah, I don't like the whole like rainbow effect. I like to be able to, if I want to change from green to blue to red, I can do that. Okay, so yeah, I guess is it gonna be expensive? Well, probably not. Vertical mounted. Yeah, I've done that in the past. So I had a Lee & Lee PC11. That vertical mount was great because the graphics card sat like this far, this far away from the glass whenever we did that. So when the air came in, it bounced off and fed it. So it was actually getting suffocated. But yeah, definitely 100% with the Trident Z Royal RAM. That would look amazing with that. Could I buy that in a heartbeat? I mean, me and my wife do pretty well. The business doesn't really generate much money, but my job does. It's all about being smart about it. But yeah. But anyway, addressing fence posts, is this going to be an expensive build rather than a budget one? I don't know. So the other gentleman, Mr. 7-Digit, he asked about looking at this card. So that's why I did that. So my goal right now is I really don't know what direction I want to go. So I've done a couple wild builds. One video did well with not a lot of like dislike. One video is doing well with high amount of likes, but not a lot of views yet. But it's still early. So I like the super budget things. Those are always fun, right? For me, it's doing something maybe a little different. I want to build something that somebody's going to be interested in buying. So that's going to be the first thing. And then secondly, you know, if they buy it, then obviously I want to make a little bit of money. So I generally try to make between 10 to 15% whenever I do a build. And actually the last build I did wasn't too bad. It was, I think I sold it for $650. I had an i3-9100F, GTX 1650 Super, half a terabyte SSD, some RGB, 16 gigs of RAM, decent case, decent power supply. So I think I found another pre-build that was like $800. So, Black Friday, that's not been great for me recently. The deals aren't necessarily on Black Friday. So ideally, what I want to do is I want to probably do one or two PC builds beforehand. Maybe make maybe $100, $200, and then that way I can throw that on another build and go from there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could easily just build a $5,000 system, but expensive systems don't sell. So that's what, you know, I was on Why Not Me podcast, and I talked about that a little bit. You know, PC building is not profitable. Like, it can be to a small degree, but overall it's not a very profitable setup. So, you know, people are like, oh, you know, I'll just, you know, it doesn't really work like that, because the reality is when stuff goes on sale. So let me find it here. And this is actually a project I wanted to do. Let me type in ABS. No, let's go down here. Let's sort by least expensive. I think it's might have been. I think it was this. So I think it was this system's on sale for $549. So the video I want to do is buy that and then see, like, the case is probably fine. I just think it's kind of a crappy case. So I'd probably replace the case, power supply, and potentially motherboard. And if I do that at the $549 that it was, would I get a better deal buying a pre-built, taking a good piece, just transplant it to a better build when I've saved money? So that's actually something I'm waiting on. So if this ever goes on sale for $549 again, I will buy the crap out of that. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, I have a lot of expectations when I do build. So first things first is, you know, I will not ever release a build to a customer if it doesn't pass every criteria I have. So those criteria has to pass, you know, at least an overnight stress test, RGB and everything has to have full functionality, and it also has to meet the needs of the customer. One time I had a customer that came by to pick up a computer and he wasn't happy. I don't know if he was just trying to back out of it or whatever have you. And this is one out of like hundreds, like nearly 1,000 systems I've built. And I basically said to him, I said, here's the deal. I will give you everything back with $50. If you don't want it, that's fine. Like I'm gonna keep $50. Depending on the situation, if I can sell for what I was trying to sell you for, we won't have to refund the rest. And it turns out I was able to do that. I refunded him $50, and he kept apologizing, like, look, like, it sucks, but like, I don't want you to take that and then not be happy. But since then, I've avoided that by being very strict with things. So I get a budget, I get their expectations on what they wanted to do, how they wanted to do it, what do they need, what do they have, what they don't have. And if it doesn't seem realistic and I can't ground the customer, then I will say wait. You're gonna wait till you have a better budget, wait till maybe things go on sale, because I refuse to ever have a customer that's not happy. That to me, you know, the system I just built, I lost money on. It was my fault. I bought an open box board to try to save a little bit of money. Open box board had issues with the RGB. Turns out I couldn't return it. I can only get it exchanged, and it was going to take 4 weeks. You know, 2 weeks to get it back Newegg or so, and then 2 weeks to get it back to me, and it went out of stock. So I'm not only going to have to eat that board, which was $60, which was like, my profit was $75. I also had to spend $20 more on a board. So now I'm $80 behind. And it's like, you know, I end up losing money on that deal. But it may work out in the end. I don't know, but it is what it is. But you are right, though. Like, there are some minimums. Like, I won't do anything much less than like a 1650, 1060, something like that, because that's kind of your minimum benchmark to run any game and to run some of the more popular games like Fortnite, World of Warcraft, you've mentioned like Warzone, the Call of Duty, all that stuff. If it can run all those games on like medium to high detail, then that's my minimum benchmark. And then I usually cap out at upper mid range. So I don't do much systems much above 1500. And those are only systems that are generally on contracted build. So customers are going to put a $200 deposit minimum, or I've already worked with them in the past, so there's some level of trust there, and I'm building to that. Just building a computer and trying to sell $1,500, it's tough. I've sold a lot of systems, like high-end systems that were year-old for like $1,500, $2,000, and the thing is like at that point, I'm only going to really accept cash because PayPal and everything, I have to lose 3%, which is going to be like, you know, probably close to $100, and it's just not great. But anyway, so back to the system. So I think, let me see if this is being sold on Amazon. It is in stock. Let me just do it this way. So let's type in processor. Excuse me. Let's see what kind of, let's only do prime. Sort by low to high. Let's, oof. Oh, okay, yeah, we don't want to start there. Okay, maybe we will. No, that's not going to be a fun time. I hate Amazon so much when it comes to this stuff. Processor type, let's go Ryzen 3. Oh god, it's gonna really make me do this. 5. Oh, I can't even do that. That's dumb. Okay, back to PC part picker. I don't think it's a bad deal. Well, here, let's do this. Let's close you out. 3, 10, 100. See what the price on this is. I would probably favor this. Couple of reasons. It's cheaper. And it's newer platform. So in multi-core, it's going to be more or less the same. That I really don't want to buy both. I could, but that's another thing. So I have to get a couple motherboards for testing purposes. Let's go i3. Where's the 10100? Here we go. So yeah, the 9100F's $30 less, and to be honest, for most games, it's not going to make much of a difference. And let's go with B460 and H470. I'm never going to go, unless I have like a stupidly low budget, I'm never going to go any lower than that. Okay, so I'm going to go micro ATX board. A couple of reasons. A, the cheapest ATX board is going to be $90. I'm okay. I do a lot of micro ATX builds. If you build them right, they're pretty simple overall. That being said, I'm not married to that idea. But let's see what we have here. So this board right here. Now, I'll do a micro ATX build into a smaller ATX case. I never have a problem with doing that. I'm going to like this board for a few reasons. So one of the things that, oh, it's also on Amazon too. Wi-Fi. I don't like, okay, let me phrase it. I do game on Wi-Fi on my laptop occasionally. Some more times than I don't. But having this built-in, this is most likely going to be a Wi-Fi 5 or Wi-Fi 6 card. AC, so it's Wi-Fi 6. And it has built-in Bluetooth. That right there saves me $30. So to give you an idea, I'd have to spend $30 less to be able to offset this. Now, that's not the end of the world. I can definitely potentially list it for more than that. The other thing we have to look at, I didn't actually look at this here, is RGB. So we have, here, let me, so we have 4-pin, which is good. We have the 3-pin addressable, and then we have it up here too. So that's perfect. That's actually way more, not necessarily way more than we need, but in most cases that's going to be at least enough, if not way more. We have a NVMe slot there. That's also Intel Octane, and we just have the one, it looks like. I don't think we have another one anywhere, but that's fine. It has the USB 3 header, which is obvious. It has the 4 RAM slots. This is going to be a 4+2 VRM, which honestly is good. What I don't like about this board is basically 4 USB 3, 2 USB 2, no USB Type-C. So that is definitely kind of a downer for me. But to try to get that, so let's look at the B. I don't know what the difference between these two are going to be, honestly, but we'll take a look. See, that isn't any better with the rear I/O, so I wouldn't even consider that because it has more or less the same I/O. And then let's look at this one. This rear I/O is different. I just don't know how much different. Okay, so again, this still doesn't fix the problem. Really should have a rear USB Type-C, but I like this board the best so far. So we're going to hit add. Now, we need RGB memory. Do not, in this case, get Corsair. Corsair requires its own RGB memory or RGB software. We're trying to only use Gigabyte RGB Fusion. So for Intel, I think 2666 the fastest. So basically anything north of, we'll say 2666 to 3200, because I don't think they generally will have much of a difference. We're going to do 2x8 and then sort by here, and then we're going to type in RGB. There we go. Okay, gel has been pretty rock solid for me, so I'm just going to buy these two, or put these on the list here. CL16, it won't run at that speed, but that's fine. Let's see what cases. So my go-to case recently has been this one. Let me sort here. Yep, here it is. So this case, I like. Well, I can't buy it from Amazon, so I'm probably, well, I can, but I'm not spending extra $30. Figures that one's in stock. The problem with this one is this is tempered glass front, so it's not great. So we're gonna skip that for now. We're gonna see what other cases are available. There is, so let's type, oops, nope, we definitely don't want to do that. We're going to do RGB. Oh, we don't want just Cooler Master. There we go. I'm not a real big fan of Game Max. This Corsair case is, not great. Wait, does this have the 4 fans with it? Or the 3 fans, rather. The only thing is I don't like putting a micro ATX board in this case. That's the only downside. But actually, let's X out both of those. What is this? Well, this may not come until next month, or the end of next month, so let's not do that. Yeah, if you guys see anything, let me know. I'll definitely, Oh, the Deep Coal Matrix 55 is a fine case. I have no issues with that. Let me look at this one. Silverstone makes quality parts. Okay, those are... It's a smidgen cramp, so that's kind of small. All they want is something funny. That might have a RAM stick in it, maybe. That is a weird setup, but anyway, it's a little pricey. So, you know, $80 from what I'm going for, but let me type this back in again. That is what's this for this one? This is the Matrix 50. That's only Newegg. So there's actually one other option we can do. I don't want to say it's necessarily cheaper by any means. It depends on if this stuff's on sale, but we can try to find a regular case, regular quotes, and get RGB fans. And there is only one set of RGB fans I would even consider. Let me sign. So we'll do tempered glass. And I don't do acrylic anymore. That just looks like garbage. I would almost want to do this because it's something different. It's definitely a smaller ATX case, which is good. It has mesh in the front. I mean, the fans are probably hot garbage, but I mean, it's definitely something I'd like to review, so that'd be a plus. It doesn't really give much. Well, here's what I don't like. Auto flow rainbow LED fans. What that tells me is, oh yeah, it just says not controllable. Nope, okay, we're nixing that. That's not a bad case. I just really wasn't a fan. I'll still check this out. Cougar doesn't make bad stuff. I like their fans. Are these... I feel like these are not RGB, though. It's like if I'm going to spend that much, better be RGB. So let's come back to the case, because I want to see what else I'm putting in here. So with a gigabyte motherboard, we definitely want to go with the gigabyte graphics card. And we're going to type in ORS to see what on earth is available under that name. And not much. Which kind of stinks because I really want an RGB on there. Okay, so with this level, I'm not going to want to spend too much on a card. Probably looking at 1660 Super, 1660 Ti, and then we're going to do RX 5600 XT. Yeah. So let's just see what's available in general. So we do have a gaming OC. These are essentially the same card, but let's see what this looks like. Oh, yeah, not at that price. Does at least have a backplate maybe, I think, yeah, it does. Okay. So this is not going to have, that's probably not controllable, I'm going to assume. But at least it's still gigabyte. That's still a plus there. Okay. Storage. So we're gonna go 1 terabyte, NVMe most likely, so 960 for storage. SSDs, sort by cheapest, and that's SATA. That I don't believe is SATA. Yes, this is NVMe. 96.99. Let me see what these Crucial P4s. 100. See if they have the Crucial P1. 104. A-Data Swordfish. There we go. Okay. So we're going to add that one to this. We're going to go power supply. So here is a trick when power supplies are not stupidly expensive. If you are doing a PC for sale, always go modular. It will save you a ton of headache in the long run. Makes life easier. What you'll see here, or if you've seen my build, so this build, if I do pull the trigger on it, will take me no more than 30 minutes from start to finish. Most of that's going to be like opening stuff. The reason why is we have the only power connections we need are going to be 24 pin, 8 pin, and 6+2s. We're going to have no hard drives. Fans will most likely be connected to the board. RGB, I know how to route that usually in most cases. We have no additional hard drives outside the NVMe drive. So having a modular power supply is just going to make life easier. In this system that I'm doing right now, most of these power supplies are probably fine. If I wanted to go super budget, I'd probably go with this BQ. I'm eyeing up one of these two. I like the Masterwatt personally. Let me look at this. Okay, that's 78 from Amazon, and darn. I was hoping they were going to be different prices. So at this point, what I would do is pull up some sort of tier list. Like LTT is not a bad idea. I know this is semi versus full. That really doesn't matter because, let me actually look at this. I think the B8's a newer power supply, so it doesn't even show you. Okay, that's a little more realistic. So it's most likely going to have the 24 and the 8 pin, so that really doesn't matter. I'm probably going to go with this one. Now, people are going to say, get 650 plus gold, get this, get that. That one's tough because if we go back, let me see what the cheapest 80 plus gold power supply isn't complete trash is. Okay, in this case, we're going to back up and do that. So this makes sense. I don't know this power supply that well, but it is EVGA. They generally don't make complete trash products. This is used. Never mind. So here's also where you can go. Now, I wouldn't do this for this system because this is going to be a mid-range one and I'm going to be selling for profit. So I wouldn't do this, but if we're on like super budget or this is for yourself, I would consider this. And this is only because they are really good companies. So EVGA B stock, especially on Wednesdays, is going to have some pretty good deals. So that's right, some of them say 80 plus. No. So this is B stock. This is kind of a 1-year warranty. It's the same one I was looking at except the 650 watt. Definitely not a bad idea. I've bought a lot of stuff from EVGA B stock, but Wednesdays are really good deals. Just keep that in mind. I wouldn't do that for building for profit though. I would, but not in this situation. If somebody's on a super tight budget, then I would say, well, We can do this. It does carry some risks, but it's not a bad idea. This is actually really, oh, it's out of stock anyway. So $68. What is this, 500? These are 550. Let's go with the Master Watt 550. Alternatively, it wouldn't be a bad idea. In fact, we're going to do that. We're going to go with the 650 variant just to give you a little more headroom for upgrading here. So now we're at $726. What I also have to do is, actually I'm going to get that separate, or get that before, when I decide this. Case. We are back at the case decision again. Some of these cases I have to laugh. So here I can get fully lit RGB case for $80. I really don't want to spend that much on a case in this situation, but I want something that looks really nice. That's kind of the catch-22. If I go with a pretty big mid tower or like a medium mid tower, the board I selected is not going to be ideal. So, I really don't like putting micro ATX cases in regular mid towers. So I'm kind of at a standstill here. Let's actually search by form factor. So micro ATX mid tower, micro ATX mini tower. Okay, there we go. So let me see. I wish this was a good case. It's just not, unfortunately. It's a really cheap case. I'm pretty confident that's an 80mm fan slot there. No, maybe not. I mean, I'm still not going to consider this. I don't know. It's like, oh, that's mini ITX. That's not an ITX case though. Okay, whatever. If the marketing's that bad, then we're not even going to bother with that. So if you want a decent case and you're not super worried about aesthetics, this is an older build design, but it is a solid case to build, and I've used it before. So just food for thought there. Okay. This is a very simplistic case. And this is also a nice case to get because it has 2 fans. So that's something to consider now. What we can do is this. So let's do this. I'm okay with this case. No, maybe not. I mean, I like it, but that 2.5 inch or that 5 1/4 inch bay bothers me. I think it just takes away from the look. This is from Dark Flash. Does this even have a fan in it? Maybe. Something from Lee and Lee, but I feel like the front would not be seen with the RGB. Although it does have 2 fans, so that's a plus. You know what? Let's do this. I have an idea. Let's do Halo RGB. Should be these, and then. Oh shoot! I'm about to buy some of these. What are the difference between these two? I'm legitimately confused. It seems to be just lower RPM. Also, it looks to be they run off Molex, so yeah, I don't like those. Okay, so what's the difference between these and those are also low noise. These are the ones I'm currently using. Yeah, this is. So this is. I reviewed these fans some time ago, and to this day I still use them. Like I said, I have a bunch of my system. Here, let me bring up OBS so I can see what I'm doing. So these are indeed the fans that I'm using. I love them. They're not loud by any means. I mean, they can hit 810 RPM, but people are like, oh, they're so loud. It's like, get knocked to us if they're loud, dude. Seriously. Or dude, out of that matter. But I'm thinking these are the low noise version. Right, yeah, I'm not even gonna chance. But even at $33, that's still a good deal. So I'm not sure if these are going to be. Let me bring up in case anybody has any comments here. Can read them. Okay, they don't, so I will grab these. And if you sign in, you can actually do custom parts, but in case you're wondering. There we go. Okay, and then what's the chances that PC cooler? Personally, I actually really want to try this cooler, but actually, let me see whatever they've been advertising a lot recently. Let me see what they have here. I almost want to try their fans, to be honest. That's honestly a good deal for a 4 heat pipe, $23. Same thing with that. Nice one off there. Shorter. I'd like to try that one as well. Okay. Well, these also have white, which is pretty neat. So here is. Yeah, so it's important. So like we talked about RGB and matching them up and figuring it out. So it's very important that now we probably only need one header from my understanding because the PC Kohler has, well, no, it has a daisy chain. So what we would do is the 3 fans would connect into one header, uses the 3-pin, and since the board we're selecting has this. So let's, I doubt again. This is in here, it'd be under HI. Oh no, yeah, it's here. Oh, cool. Okay. So if you're asking why on earth would I get an aftermarket cooler? It doesn't need it. Honestly, for selling purposes, it just makes it look that much nicer. We have 3 RGB fans, RGB cooler, RGB memory. You know, this is pretty ideal. Now, I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to make one change most likely. I'm probably going to nix that CPU. But that depends on the price of this one. Oof, that's a steep climb for 2 more cores. That's $60. And realistically, the game performance is going to be close to each other. So what I'm going to do now is, so let's add this back in. We're $865, so yeah, that's not yet. Okay. These ramp sticks aren't super tall. And looking at the spacing on here, it should be fine. It may cover the first RAM slot, but anyway, so let's do calculator. So now what we have to figure out before we move forward with this, which I may or may not move forward with, to be honest, I haven't decided yet, is what can I sell this for? Now, to be honest, and this is why I don't buy a lot of systems like this, is $865. Does that really leave me room on a pre-built, right? So let's go computer systems, gaming desktop. So first things first is let's do i3, or let's do a graphics card, direct graphics card comparison. That's usually pretty good. Let's do these 2. So let's see what the cheapest computer with that graphics card is. So right here, we're already in bad shape. And right here, we're already $130 over, right? So, and this is an even better buy. Now, I know it's a 1660 Ti. They're more or less the same. So now, I have to add tax, they have to add tax. That's not really going to change much. Here's also, okay, I really wouldn't really consider this because I don't know what brand this is. Now we have twice the SSD, we have twice the memory. But even so, twice the memory isn't going to be much more. Twice the SSD is not going to be much more. And that's assuming I sell this at cost, right? So, which I'm not going to because that wouldn't make sense for me to build it. So, in this situation, I probably won't build this because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Sure, it's put together better. Well, okay, so here let's make an argument here. So this is more or less the same system, right? Let's do it dead on. So actually, that motherboard is probably better than the board I selected. Although that cooler is trash, so I know which cooler that is. I just reviewed this cooler. This cooler is not great. I mean, it's slightly better in stock, but that's about it. So, you know, this one's difficult. I am still on the fence of like, would I do this or not? This has built-in Wi-Fi. This is an ASRock B. This looks like, I think it's ASRock. It's Pro Series. It also might be ASUS as well. It has a M.2 card down there. It does have a regular SSD. It does have a no-name power supply. It does not have nearly as much RGB. These cables are meh. But from a pure performance standpoint, it will perform very close to the system I just built. You could add another 500 gig SSD for $60. You can add another 8 gigs of memory for $30 and $90. You're still going to be cheaper than this. Now, that being said, we can cut down some things. So first things first, we can nix this. We can downgrade that, downgrade that, downgrade that, and I'll leave that where it's at. So video card, we're going to go with any 1660 Super. Where are we at here? 1660 Super. And then we're going to go with the cheapest, because that's honestly all that matters. They all work the same, more or less. Case, we can probably go with like the 175R. Actually, no, there was like a case or two that I kind of liked. Honestly, at this point, we can probably just go with where is the 320? Is it really not on here? Okay, we'll keep looking here until I find the one I'm looking for. Also might be on this page. Oh yeah, here it is. So we can do that, even though I'm not a big fan of it. And then power supply, we can just go with like BQ 500, so we save money there. And then for memory, we can just go with the cheapest 2x8 we can find because it's Intel and that doesn't really matter. But I'll still get this. So now we're at $750. Now we're legitimately better than this system. Now this system does have, I do not like the way they've set this up, but it does have a little bit of RGB, right? Oh wait, did I keep the, oh yeah, let's, well no, this has RGB too, it just doesn't have RGB memory. So I'd put the one fan in the rear and call it a day, that's what I would do. So this would be a pretty good buy, but we still have to worry about, you know, okay, so now, so $754, I'm going to want to make 10% and then I have to charge sales tax. So 879, and this one is going to be, so we're $100 more. Now, that is fine because we have almost $100 in upgrades. So we have a better power supply, no doubt. Probably a slightly better case in theory. And we have a better SSD and we have twice the memory. So this is actually probably what I would do. What I would probably actually do is I would still get RGB memory and I would try to find a graphics card with a backplate. Is probably what I would do. So if you're asking Steve, what would you do without sacrificing too much? I'm going to find a better 1660 Super. Something that looks somewhat appealing. Because that one really doesn't. And it's probably going to be this Asus one. Or this one. Actually, I need to find one that's from Amazon. So that's the trick here. Why is it so hard to find one on Amazon? Oh, you guys are killing me. No. And this one, no, that one. Okay, so I think it was this one. That one's 340. Okay, I think that's the other Asus one. Now, we have to do the math, but I'm not going to buy it from Best Buy. In fact, it's out of stock everywhere else, so that's fine. So, and then, wait, no, additional storage. My bad. Memory. Just going to go 2 by, oh, not 4 by 8, 2 by 8. We'll go RGB. Feel free to ask. I don't think anybody's asked any questions. Or no, there has been, but not in the last like 15 minutes. Okay, RGB. Yeah, I'd still get this for $10. So this would be the compromise. So this is going to run, so 781, roughly 10%, and then tax. So now we're at about 130. Okay. Dollars every other one. So this is where you can make the sale. First of all, if you're building this yourself, then great. But let's just say that you're building this to sell. It's more expensive, but anyway. You have roughly $100 in upgrades, and then you're obviously going to sell you, right? You're going to sell your service, and that this was built by you, and you're going to warranty it and all that stuff, and help them out with replacements. Hopefully, you do it sooner rather than later. But you could probably make that $80 to $100. Now, it doesn't have Windows. I generally don't mess with that. I let my customers deal with that. I try not to get too involved with messing around with Windows, but I'm going to make a couple other tweaks here. So I'm going to nix that. I'm trying to find a better case, better board. I'm going to have to find a memory here and that. So let's go. Let's upgrade this a little bit here. Let's go Intel. Let's go 10400. Where you at? There we are. Okay. We're going to get rid of the whole Wi-Fi. We don't care about Wi-Fi. But we do want an ATX board. And we're probably going to go with this one, I suspect. It's from Amazon. I'm going to look at the VRM. The VRM is, drum roll. Oh, wait, I need straight on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to try to sell this as a 5+1, but I'm going to say bull crap. And this is, or 10+1. This is definitely a 5+1. I almost guarantee you there are doublers behind here because 10+1 would make no sense. The reason why I know, so just a quick, so this has one high, one low, and this is missing. So I know this is like for onboard memory, or as AMD calls the SoC, more or less. But anyway, so we are ditching Wi-Fi. We're just going to assume that, Wi-Fi bad, don't do it. So anyway, going back, and we'll type in RGB again. We do need to find some memory. Here's the downside with, oh God, is it that much of a jump? My God, it is. Oof, it's expensive. These are hit or miss with ASRock personally, so I'm actually going to nix that and probably go with ASUS if we can find a decently priced ASUS board. That's funny. That's Micro ATX. Okay, let's check out this board before we lock this in. So let's look at the important things here. That is 12. I only see 12 volt RGB. Interesting. Okay, so that's going to be a no there. Let's do, oh, that's Micro ATX. See, now we're in a really expensive level, so I don't want to do that. Let's go back to Gigabyte. Let's see what Gigabyte has. This should be fine, but again, it depends on what we have for RGB. I don't see anything down bottom. That's blocking me, so I can't see anything up top. So this has nothing in the realm of RGB, which I find incredibly interesting considering that we've had some lower end boards that have that. We might stick with my Micro ATX again. I think I might just stick with this board, to be honest. Because I think that Lian Li case... Let me see what Micro ATX boards we have again. Or cases, rather. You know what? Let's just keep it the way it is and see if we find a smaller case. That one's expensive. I wish this would... Am I clicking on something that's the reason why this is getting on my nerves? Yeah, there's no back button. Just frustrating. Okay, let's go back to these guys again. Case selection is always difficult for me. Especially for myself, that's where it's really difficult. I don't know, I just come back to this. That's a good case. Okay, and let's Amazon. PC cooler fans. I am going to buy some of these, I think. Yeah, I actually need to because my wife's system... Why did we swap her cooler out with? Oh no, we haven't done that yet, that's right. So we're actually going to want to do that here in a little bit. So wife, if you're watching, we're going to do that here in the near future. Okay. Good. I don't know, it's tough to swap out this. I'm probably going to though. Just for the sake of upgradability. Master Watt 650, and then see if I can. What's in around with 5600 XTs? Yeah, I'll do that. Why not? So now let's look at pre-builds, because how close This would be a little harder to sell just due to the price, but let's go with gaming desktops, and then do we have RX 5600? Oh, fantastic. Loving it. There's not a single computer on here that's going to be able to compete, because if you do the math, we are approximately 950, right? And we have everything. We have the memory. Yeah, we have everything we need, right? Now this would have an Windows, but neither here nor there. But just for the heck of it, let's also look at. So let's do that. Let's do that, and then let's do 1660 Ti / yeah. We'll just keep it like that. So we want to just make sure. So this is going to be tough. So the CPU is better. The GPU is not. Smaller SSD. So it's going to be kind of a hard sell. Now, immediately I can tell you this is probably an A320 board. In fact, I'm almost 100% confident it is. So can't tell. It usually should have lettering right here, but that's a really small Kohler too, by the way. That's probably a 90mm Kohler, and I would argue that the stock Kohler is probably better. So here we have a really off-brand power supply, ketchup and mustard cables. So this would be a system that I would buy and overhaul, to be honest. Why does it not let me add it? Okay, yeah. Because like the case is fine. That's a really cheap case, actually. That's a really cheap case. So an argument can be made. I mean, you could also transversely, if you can get a good deal on a 3600, swap that out. But 3600s are a little bit pricey, and then spend about the same amount of money on a board if you can. Board wise, let's see what we got here. This is going to add some cost to it. So yeah, $20 there, and I'd probably go. I don't know if there's any cheap B550 boards around right now. Oh yeah, okay, so we have the same one. We would just double check, make sure it has everything we need. So we have addressable, non-addressable. That's a smidgen concerning that we only have just those two. So this may or may not be compatible. So that would be something to consider. I/O is fine. It's actually quite good compared to what we've had. Does not have Wi-Fi, but that's fine. No big deal there. So I would be a little bit hesitant to get this board for that reason. VRM is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a. I'd have to see what's under here to be sure. Let's Google it. Let's see what Gigabyte's claiming that it is. Their system here. Oh God. Five plus 3. What? Did I miss a bunch of these somewhere? Okay. They're probably not wrong. It would either be a 4 plus 4, but they're saying it's plus 3. And it probably is a 5 plus 3, but it's fine. I'd be a little bit hesitant with that board. I'd probably go with this one if I had to take a stab. Although I'd prefer Gigabyte, to be honest, if I could. So let me think for a second. How are a lot of it would depend on how the CPU cooler is designed. I honestly could not answer that one. So here, let me go back to what's available. I don't want to spend this much money on a board. That would be doing us a disservice. Okay, we have that, and then okay, so this would work in theory, but I would definitely want a gigabyte board. B450 should work out the gate, but you never know. Let me click on gigabyte and then see what's available. So let me see what this layout is. Addressable, non-addressable. Ah, get out of here. Okay, so we have 2 addressables and 1 non-addressable. So that's fine. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna grab this board, pray that it's updated. So this one's 962. So actually not much more, but yeah. So this would probably be the system I would go with. The only we do have that is 3600 megahertz memory. Okay, so we already have 3600 megahertz memory. So when we look at, I didn't realize this was open box. Nobody told me this is open box. It's a Pro and it's a very good VRM. Okay. So here's the thing with that. It's not necessarily about how good the VRM is, because under normal operating conditions, that's not really going to matter too much in these situations. Where the robust VRM is going to be important is when you're going to start pushing a fair bit of current through them, and then you want to look at how good the cooling is. So this, in this case, which we did not end up going with this one anyway, A Pro is very good VRM for the money. Yeah, the problem is that that's not a bad idea, but that's still a bit you would want to spend on a board for a $160 to $200 processor. If you're going to spend that much on a board, you might as well get something more robust. So that's kind of where my thought is on that. In hindsight, most B550 boards will be able to handle a 3900X at stock. I forget what VRM is on here. This is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 4 plus 2. Let me do Reddit. Tier list. There we go. This has not been updated, unfortunately, but I think there might be one it is. ASRock, ASUS, Gigabyte. Oris M. Okay, so what this is saying on this board, and this is kind of where I was at about it, is this has, yeah, this is a 4-phase. It is using double, it just doesn't say which one it is. They're all more or less using the same. If you actually see all the way up, the only difference is this is using one high and 2 low, where some of them, actually no, they're all doing that. Even their, oh wow, their X470 Gaming 5 is using that too. So this is a pretty good indicator of what you need. So this will handle an overclocked, basically up to here. So an OC 3800X, 3700X, right? And a stock 3950X. When it's saying mild airflow, that means you want to make sure you have air going over, a rear fan that'll actually bring air over, or if you have a tower cooler. That's all that's referencing. So a lot of these systems I build, by the time people actually get around to upgrade them, okay. By the time people get around to upgrade them, usually it's a full overhaul by then. But I'm curious about this here. So you were saying, yeah, and that's key, right? If you throw a 3900X in it or a 3950X, at stock, what's it going to do? Can you overclock it, etc. But anyway, so you were talking about the DS. Okay, so you mentioned the B550, which they don't actually have in here. But, oh, here it is. Gaming. Okay, so this is considered D tier. So this is saying 100 amps current draw on a little ambient airflow will handle a maxed out like 3700X. So that's kind of what I more or less expected. Let me see. Where is the? Let me type in ORS here. Yeah. So they're. Oh yeah. They're literally. Oh wait. No, it's actually down here. ORSM. So I would actually. Oh, that's the Oris Elite. Where DS3H. Okay, so yeah, actually the B550 DS3H is actually better than this board that I selected. I almost want to go back to Intel just to make life easier for that. I'm curious if he has any. Oh no, A520s. Okay, I was hoping it did. Which board am I using? I'm using the Pro 4. Yeah, so this is one I'm using. Oh, that's interesting. That's actually impressive. I did not know that. So my ASRock Pro 4 will handle 3900X, 1.3 volts, ambient cooling. That's actually quite good for a board that was like now $110. But anyway, so the question is what board do we go with? So let's go back to here. Let's see what 5600 XTs are available, and then we'll kind of take it from there. I'm assuming Hardware Unboxed is who you're referencing, by the way. I think that would make sense. Yeah. By the way, none of my customers I've ever built for actually overclock. I'm not saying that you shouldn't overclock. I don't even mess with anything outside of Precision Boost anymore because nowadays you have to do like per CCX overclocking, which is not ideal. But let me see. Okay, so let's just assume this has RGB in it. Probably not, but we'll see. And let's see what MSI motherboards we have here. So, okay. They have one motherboard, and it's probably trash. In fact, I'm very confident this motherboard is trash. First of all, let's even see if it has what we need. 2 4-pin RGB, 1 addressable. I don't even think it has the layout I need. Okay, now I'm genuinely curious how bad this is. Really? Call me shocked. Yeah, I last I heard that was still in beta. It's really good to come out though, but to be honest, most of these chips are been pretty far nowadays that I really wouldn't be overly concerned about it. But what you might have to buy with this, let me go back to this here to see, it is 5-pin. Only downside with this board is I think this has a lot of 4-pin. Yeah, those two are both 12 volts. one of those, which is 5-volt. So what you might need is 3-pin RGB splitter. Okay. No, not 4-pin. I need 3-pin. Here we go. So actually, yeah. So you would end up having to buy this, which is fine. This would actually replace the one that comes with the one that comes with it is 3-to-1. You need a 4-to-1. So do note you would need this. But now, now this is a build I could send. So this is going to cost roughly with that $985. Here we'll add this as well. And okay, now we go back to Newegg. Hey Griff, I am not yet, but I'm kind of playing out some ideas. This is open box. I didn't realize that, so that doesn't even count. Let's go. We need new. Ship my Newegg, and then is there an option for new? There we go. Okay, here we go. So, what would I charge for this system? So this is $968, $986. So we'll say $990. Got to make 10%, then tax. Well, okay, we don't need to worry about tax. You have to pay tax regardless. So $1090. This is almost the same system. A touchdown GPU, in my opinion. Less memory, slower memory, smaller SSDs. So this is a good deal. I can't touch that. But now we're in slightly more expensive territory, and I want to say that this system, well, this is a 5700. Now it has 13 stars, or a bunch of bad eggs. So only has one exhaust fan. Not happy about it. Issues with recovery, does not cool. All sorts of issues. Loud. Okay, so I'm not even going to consider that because that's a bad customer experience. So realistically, these ones are the only ones, and so yeah, this one I could easily sell it. I'd probably so let's think about what tax is. So I would list it for $1,100 plus tax. It'd be like $1,160, give or take. Very nice. Yeah, so what I was getting at, Remix, is, it all depends on your goals, and, one thing I have to remember is I have to support this product. So if the motherboard dies, I have to replace that. And I can't just RMA it. I have to get them something to get them up and running. So in most cases, I have a spare board. Usually I have 3 or 4 boards laying around that are going to be probably like C tier on here, probably somewhere in the C to D tier. Which most of my systems range from up to 3800Xs and down, right? 5700XTs and down. I don't really do a lot of high-end builds. But you are right to a degree, probably avoid, let me see if I've used anything on this list. Sparingly for really, really low systems. Literally 2200 Gs, more or less. I have used a few of these. I actually find interesting that the Tomahawk is listed so poorly. That's quite interesting. My wife used a Tomahawk. But the thing is that I say is that when I'm building a computer for a customer and selling it to them, they are not going to upgrade themselves, right? They're going to probably have me upgrade it. And very rarely does somebody come to me in a 2-year period and say, I want to drop $1,000 in my system. In most cases, it's going to be a graphics card upgrade, right? And to be honest, in this build, we have a good enough power supply where we could put probably up to maybe a 3080. Might be a little iffy, but probably a 3080 without too much difficulty. So it's all about, just thinking about the customer, long-term, short-term, what their expectations are, if they say that they want to spend $1,000 or $1,200 a day and maybe upgrade in a couple years, I would probably spend a little more money in some cases. If they don't care about RGB, I'd pull back. But yeah, I mean, I do mostly mid-range systems. I use the A520 DSH, I believe, and or DS or S2H. And honestly, it's fine. It's good for mid-range about there. But yeah, definitely agree with you there. Motherboards aren't really important unless you're hitting about 3000X. Still do your research because there looks to be a lot of boards on this list that, probably a C or D tier board that are not that expensive. For example, we're looking at like this one right here, right? So we just talked about this. That's not the one we're using, but it was like $90. Perfectly good board. Let me see what other B550s. A lot of these are good for some, like if you're going to throw like a 3300X, maybe some of these boards would be good. But yeah, this would be a system. So if I could get everything in Amazon, which should be able to, let me make sure this is available. Let me actually just change everything to Amazon real quick. This to Amazon. Wait, I can do it this way. Text. Single merchant, Amazon. Oh, something I can't buy is from Amazon. Oh, wait, the power supply is not available on Amazon? Really? Oh, it's just out of stock. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's see what, so that's, what can't I get from Amazon? That's what I'm confused about. I thought everything I could. Okay, you're good. This is going to throw a fit at me here. Okay, so $996. Let's see what I would want to do. So I charge 6% sales tax. So I'd probably sell it for like 11. Probably list it like 1,200. Something like this. And then what's actually neat is, so $996, I would actually get 5% cash back. So I'd make about $50 in the back end and about $100 in the front end. So I could essentially make about $150 off a system that at 1150 to 12, if I sell for, here, well, I should just do it this way. So I don't get to keep the sales tax, so just keep that in mind. So if I sell this for 1160 times 0.94, I think my math serves me correctly, minus 996.88 plus, do I have parentheses here? Okay, so we'll just say 93.50 first. Okay, so I could essentially make about $143 out of a system like this. So, but all it takes is, one bad move, and motherboard dies in the first 6 months. Then I have to eat a motherboard, and it would take me 4 weeks to replace it. Then I'll sell it on hardware swap subreddit, probably for like $30 less, minus shipping for another 20. So that's why it's good always playing this stuff out. But yeah, this would be a system. Personally, now if it was up to me, I probably wouldn't go AMD for selfish reasons, because I would want to compare it against my 3600 that I have in my system. But if I was doing what's best for the customer, if this was build to order, I would do it AMD. If I am just building this to do a couple videos on like maybe an SSD, graphics card, the case, whatever have you, I would probably go Intel, because Intel sells better. I would also try to go NVIDIA too, but that's a little bit hard to do. But this is actually, so let's go super budget. So let's build from the bottom up. Power supply. So if somebody comes to me and they're on the smallest of small budget, we're going B stock, gentlemen and ladies. Although, let's not kid myself. Women don't care to watch my videos. This one right... Oh, this is... Wait. Okay, yeah. So I actually have this power supply right now. So we're going to... Can't actually click on it. So this power supply isn't great. Okay. Just going to lay that out there. However, your options generally are buying one of two things. Something off Craigslist. And if you're not super knowledgeable on computers and can work on them yourself, then it's going to be a crapshoot. Because outside of me and a few other people I know in my area in particular, a lot of people aren't going to warranty their products. Yeah, I know. I've been buying B stuff stock out the butt. Mostly graphics cards for customers on extreme budgets. But yeah, so I just bought one of these. So we're going to probably have to make a part for this. So... let's go super budget. Let's manually add. Okay, optional. Oh, wait, no. This is going to be power supply. And 9. Okay. So there's that. We're definitely going to go with a 9100F. So if you haven't figured out, I'm actually recreating the build I just did. That is a stupid deal. So, where you at? 9100F. You should be up here. Here we are. Why so expensive? Let me check Newegg business. Oh God. Okay. So I'm gonna have to go a little bit more expensive. Now, this is a tough decision. This is the board I originally got. I got the Wi-Fi version of the box, and it was DOA. But I'd probably, this is a pretty good option. So there's no expectations of high quality. There's just full disclosure, like we're gonna go budget. It better work. So since we're going low end, but this is fine because this, I would still feel comfortable putting like a locked i7 or i5 in here. It is only a 4+2. The VRM cooling isn't great, but passive cooling's fine. It does have the M.2 slot. It does have 4 RAM slots. Its I/O looks to be okay, so we're just going to grab this. Okay, we're going to go to memory, and we're going to go with the cheapest 16 gig kit we can find. But we are going to go 3000 because it's only $2 more, so why not? YOLO. SSD. We are going to go with an SSD here. Always go with an SSD. I will never build a computer with a mechanical hard drive. I have actually walked away from building computers because they want a mechanical hard drive. Oh, this is no longer on sale. Okay, I'm going to go with an A400. Actually, no, this one. I think that's DRAMless. Case. Literally sort by cheapest case out there. Okay, maybe not necessarily the cheapest case out there. This is actually probably where I'd buy this case. Just because it has an RGB fan, I think. Oh, no, it's a blue LED fan. Never mind. I thought that was an RGB fan. I'm just kind of seeing what's available real quick before if there's anything like in the super budget that looks kind of cool. Most everything super budget just looks weird. So the other thing I have to remember is I want something that's not super hard to build in either. So that is something to consider. Probably you, if I had to take a guess. I haven't used this guy yet, but it's only one fan. No, that's a really old design. I'm not feeling that either. I would like something with a window. That's actually an option, isn't it? Technically, yeah, there we go. What? I mean, I don't get this, but I don't know. I think this is a closeout deal or something. I don't know if you can actually buy that or not. Probably this guy. I think that's okay. Yeah. Okay, so if I have to get it from New, nah, the problem is I can't get anything. Everything has to be from Amazon, so I can make at least a little bit of money on it. Let me make sure. Okay, that's a promo. Although 5%, that's. I guess I'll keep that. That's good. Okay, back to case, sorry. Yeah, I'll check into that 1 second. Oh, I hate to. Here, let's not put any limitations on that. Let's just make sure we have the side panel portion of it. What the hell is that? Now this is modern enough. I can mess with that. Okay. So we definitely are a little bit over our initial budget. Mostly, let me think. Why are we over? Oh yeah, I spent a bit less on everything actually. But yeah, because I just did a PC build that was a bit cheaper. I spent 71 here. I did. I'm spending 80 here, 53 here, 43 here, 40 there, and then the graphics card was 94. Now, there's nothing here right now, but, okay, no, let's do this. So we're going to do this because this is available. So now I would also save 5% on that because of the build a PC code. So that'd be 133. Although here's the only thing, I do have to pay tax on that because I don't have my tax ID with them for whatever reason. So it has to be 141. I just won't charge that whenever I go to sell it. That's all. So let's go custom part. Let's do this. And we're going to do 140.33. Where's graphics card at? Or is that under video card? There it is. Okay. There we go. So 474, and then we have to do some. Okay, actually we need to do. I actually need to bring up an Excel page here. Hold on a second. So this is 474.88. Okay, then we have to do equals this minus 140 3 times 0.06. Oh, whoops. There we go. So only $20 in tax, and then equals 1. I forgot it doesn't want to do that. Okay. So equal sum. That should work. There we go. Okay, so I could essentially charge about $550 for this, and I would also make an additional. Let's do this. Everything that isn't on Amazon, so that's 40.3 minus. Oh, whoops. Okay, I did forget about something. So times 0.95. No. Let's try that one more time. This is 35.23. the 40, 475, 12. No. Okay, just delete this. Okay, so then that would be that. And then, so very simple. And then equals that. Minus 140.8 minus. Okay. So in this case, oh no, wait. Okay, so I would charge $550. So let's move all this stuff down for a second. So we'll say. Oh wait, okay, so I'm only have to charge $17 of tax. Okay, so what's that? So, sorry guys with all the math here. So what is that? Okay, so that is the 5% cash back I would get equals this. Yeah, so 550. So this equation is what I charge minus the tax, minus the price, and then add back in the 5%. So not too bad. But anyway, that would be super budget. I did this a little cheaper. Like I said, I actually have a system. Where are we at here? So let's bring up my YouTube page of a system that I think I built it for about 500 or 400 even, really close. Let me see here. Yeah, this one. Nope, that's a video review. Hold on, go back. There we go. So, gotta love my thumbnails. Okay, so let's do some math here. We spent 73 on that, 78 on the board. Memory, oh god, I can't remember. Hold on. Let me.
Hey everyone, Steve here from to do the.
There we go. Oh god, why is this like in? It's like 240p. Okay. There we go. So. Make sure my math was right on this video, or else I'd take it down and fix it. That's right, I did get that memory for 53 bucks. 94, 43, 30, 30. Yep. So now, just so you guys know, the $94 is not including, like, I actually had to pay tax on that, but regardless. And the power supply I got for $29.99. The case I bought for $30 like 3 years ago. It was just sitting in my office. I bought it for my dad just to have like a spare like thing to mount things in, and he ended up never using it. So I'm actually going to look up this case here that you had recommended. I use New Egg Business mainly because I don't have to pay sales tax whenever I buy stuff. Here we go. I think this is the case you're referencing. So that's a fine case. My problem is this, because I bet you can't control it. Let's actually read. Yeah, it doesn't say, but if you can't at least control it by a button, that's a problem. It does say addressable, so that tells me that you should be able to plug it into the motherboard. But yeah, that'd be a pretty good option too. I'm okay with that. The only downside is I really would like 2 fans. 2 fans is kind of my minimum. 1 in, 1 out. So. Okay. Now, it's another. I know I was supposed to do something. I completely forgot. So let's see how fast this will transfer. Here. Oh, you know what? No, it's not there. It is here. Here it is. World of Warcraft. Copy. I don't think I have installed on this computer, do I? Don't think I do. I think it installs under here. Let me bring up Battle.net real quick. I'll show you guys something pretty neat. Let me log in here. Because actually I was planning on playing while I was doing this, but I got too distracted. Approve. Trying to remember where it installs the World of Warcraft at. Close. Install. Yeah, okay, it is there. Okay, so paste. See how long this will take once it calculates all the items. So what this is I have. Yeah, it's fine. Why is it saying it's inaccessible? My ass is. Okay, let's try this again. Actually, take a look at the server now. We're thinking about it. You guys are killing me. Well, you guys aren't, but. Let's try this. Nope, that's a. God, these are all really big files. Let's try this to see if this wants to work now. Okay. Disconnect. Run. Tower. Map network drive. Finish. Okay. See if that wants to work. And if my server wants to take a giant dump now, I'm not going to be happy about that. Oh God. Gonna take a while. Oh wait, that's because I didn't copy the right thing. There we go. So I was trying to, it was copying the old file. What's the temperature of the caching disk now? 32. When was that? 1024. Why? It is on the local network. Well, when in doubt, reboot. Stop. So, how much free do I have? 3.87 terabytes. Yeah, this is Monterey server. It's where I store mostly business stuff, but then like a crapshoot of like certain games and stuff like that. Although I just realized I spun this server down and my wife's probably on it. Let me let her know. She's not going to be happy with me if she's playing a game off of there right now. Yeah, I can. It really bothers me you can't play while off a network drive. It really does. Because, yeah. You can't play WoW specifically off it, which is really frustrating. It's not because there's not enough bandwidth. I mean, I have a gig internal network speed, so, but neither here nor there. I do need to increase storage. As you see, I have 3 terabytes for redundancy, then 3 and a bunch of ones. I'm waiting for some enterprise drives to go on sale, ones that were pulled out of an enterprise environment, and upgrade these. The problem, I'm gonna do some very simple math here for you. So if you're moving at a gig, which is 1,024 megabytes, I think that comes out to. Well, actually, that is 1 gig. A gigabit is going to be this divided by 8. So you can move. So this is bits per second. This is megabytes per second. So when your internet is 100 over 100, it is actually, we'll just actually make life easier. Okay. Your actual megabytes per second is that. It's 12.5. So 125 megabytes per second is pretty fast. To rebuild the array, which would be technically 3 terabytes, to actually rebuild it, because each parity drive is 3 terabytes, it actually has to go through all that data. So how many megabytes are in 3 terabytes? Well, that's very simple. 3 times 1,024 times 1,024. Oops, I have to put an equal sign. So 1,000 megabytes in a gigabyte, 1,000 gigabytes in a terabyte. Okay. Now equals, or here, well, let me move this over here. There we go. So if we do this, divide by this, oops, divided by that. Okay, so that's how many seconds that's going to take. If we divide that by 60, wait, why did that not work? Oh, divided by 60. Divided by 60. That's the minutes, and then divided by 60 again. That is how many hours. So to run a parity check or rebuild the array, every single time it takes 7 hours. So that's to be simple here. The safest way for me to do this would most likely be I could pull 2 drives out at a time and do it, I believe. So 7 hours, 7 hours, and then to replace each parity drive. So we'd be looking at approximately 28 hours to do the upgrade. I believe that math is correct. The safe way is to do 1 at a time. And you have to rebuild the array every time for 7 hours. So if I replaced these with, like, say 6, or I'd probably do like more, at least 6 terabytes, and then these with all 3, we'd be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 42 hours to do it, which is kind of the reason why I haven't done it yet. Oh, I didn't reboot it yet. Fail. I just spun it down. Okay. Let me let her know that I'm rebooting. But yeah. But anyway, Unraid's pretty nice. I do like it a lot. Obviously, I got onto it because of Linus. I'm running a very simple Athlon 200 GE, 8 gigs of RAM, 480 gig SSD, and a bunch of hard drives. Probably cost me $350 for everything. It is hooked up to my, so how it is everything runs to a 16 port switch I have over there behind me. And then that actually runs to each room in the house, which has its own switch or access point or both. So we have internet everywhere. But I do want to get 10 gig in here at some point. I'll probably wait till we actually go to a new house to do that. But what I'm actually playing on here, if anybody's curious, let me actually bring up this so you guys can see. That's only 720p. Oh well. So I have a triple monitor set up here. So 1, 2, and 3. That is primarily used for 2 things. One would be Racing, and then Flight Simulator. That's my server over there. Yes, we were in the process of moving, and then we didn't move. So, and this is the rig I use for this. This is a 3600X, 16 gigs of RAM, 1080 hybrid, 1 terabyte or no, 500 gig NVMe SSD. It's a CX750M because I got that for free. This is a Be Quiet 500DX RGB. Even has, I think, yeah, it has an RGB strip up there, which I don't know if you can actually see that or not. Wait, let me see. Wait. What am I looking at here? I think you can see it. Let me get my bearings here. No, let's this right away. Not quite. There you go. You can kind of see the RGB strip. Has the RGB front, and then these are the Halo RGB fans, and that is a Be Quiet Kohler. So the case and the Kohler I did get as a review sample. Be Quiet never hesitates to send me stuff, which is always neat. So back by me, you can see filming. I have 2 of the lights thingies. What else is relevant behind me? That microphone I almost never use. I don't know if you can see the camera behind me or not, but. And then I use a HOTAS 4 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I can probably, in the meantime, for anybody that I could bring up Flight Sim for a little bit. Let me bring up. The only thing is I can't do. Where's my phone at? I probably can if I actually remember to pay attention to it. I could do 1 screen versus triple. That would also work too. So it takes less power. So let's do Flight Simulator. There we go. And plug that. Get my HOTAS in front of me here. I'll better get this up before the game launches. Actually, I think Steam's asked me to log in before I launch it. Stupid me. I bought the full version, thinking that the Game Pass will only give you the light version. I was wrong about that one. Game Pass gives you the full version, for anybody that is wondering. At least from my understanding, it does. Okay. Oh, server's back up. Killing me here. Oh. No, it should be all lowercase. There we go. Okay. Jesus. I had it right. It just, I was fat fingering it. Okay. Bring that online so you guys can see my awesome Unraid server again, because I know everybody loves to see that. And then wait for these to pop up. There's over here. Why bring up Flight Simulator? Close out of that. No, don't care about that. Flight Sim takes forever to load. Okay, so why is it doing this? As you see, like, this is how fast it's moving, and it's going to take 6 hours, by the way. Anyway, the only thing that's happening is your stuff's just not being backed up during a parity check, just so you know, if you're wondering. Okay, now let's see if this will copy and paste. Just the middle screen. Thank you. It still won't let me. Okay, well, I guess I have to install it. That's annoying. I don't know why it's doing that. They actually now, quote unquote, support triple monitor, but I actually have to ask the program to do that now because I'd have to do NVIDIA surround, I believe. Yeah, running at 60 FPS during load screen, that's a plus. We'll do New York, why not? Oh. By the way, I'm downloading WoW at 60, right around 55 to 60 megabytes a second. It's pretty quick. So we have a 15 knot headwind, and our landing speed's gonna be 140 knots. So I'm probably gonna want to set auto throttle. I am gonna disable this probably, but we'll see. If it's not my way, then I'll keep it the way it is.
100.
Oh, actually,
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
I'm going off there. There we go. That's actually a really smooth landing. I had to hit the reversals there. Okay, let's see how bad that landing was. I landed too short. It's all good. Let's do another landing challenge. There's a couple. I'm used to having 3 screens, but I feel like that was one of my better landings with 1 screen, so maybe that's not the case. Oof. This one I still have not done yet. This one is tough. Let's see how this one ends up. But yeah, feel free to keep asking questions if you guys want to chat about PC builds and stuff like that. I probably got another like 15, 20 minutes before I'll cut out. Friend request on Facebook. Actually, oh god.
Landing here. Landing here. Landing here.
Get this bad boy down. Drop a little faster. That's all way too much airspeed.
500.
This is gonna be rough, guys. Hang on. We gotta drop it. That's where you go. Oof.
Don't sink.
Missed the
Don't
approach.
sink.
Stall.
Don't
Stall. Stall.
Don't sink.
Oh, we got out of it. That's close. And I fell. That one was tough. I think what I did was I held too much airspeed up top, and then I was good on airspeed, but I was really way too high. And as soon as I dropped altitude, I gained way too much airspeed. Okay, so to start.
Landing here. Landing here. Landing here.
Oh, what's the climb? What? I didn't land on a designated runway. My butt. My butt. Ah, so close. One more try.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Ah, here we go. Okay. Got the airspeed I want. I am 100 above sea level. Yeah, let's ride 110. That's good. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go from here and let's see what I can do with my booster. While I am getting altitude, I can drop altitude. Let's run that power. Water lower, flaps. Let's get to about 10-15%. Let's get this to probably about, let's say, it's That's right, this thing's pretty. Let's give it some power now. That one should be good. There we go. I'm 57,000 now. Of course, I guess landing position, but I don't know how. I guess I'm coming in too fast still. The only thing I'm making sense is I think I might be still coming in too fast. But okay, let's look at some other landing challenges. That's another 2,000 foot runway. Jesus, that's a lot. Okay, let's do it. Let's look at the approach. Ooh, 85 knots on the landing. Am I not on the same plane? Okay. I'm gonna exit. Oh, exit that. I want to get rid of this since you guys already saw all the FPS. I guess that's gonna stay on no matter what. That's fine. again now that I actually understand. You have to come over the river and through the woods. Now I see why whatchamacallit. Okay, so they want base turn around the rocks, and that's fine. I can do that.
Landing gear.
The sneak into this airport, and this is the airport up from where I grew up. So there's a housing plan now, but I believe this airport closed a couple years ago. But it's really cool to see. Something that when I was younger, a lot of these flight jumpers, Cessnas and everything were flying out of there, and you'll see how it is. It's a valley right when you take off, so it's a pretty short runway. So. No, I think it's 2,500 feet. Now that I think about it. You can take a 787 Dreamliner out of here in this game, barely, and that's only because it sinks and gets just enough thrust. Because 787 Dreamliner can be like bird to take off. Once you hit about 120 knots, you can pretty much get put in a relatively steep.
4 Golf Zero traffic Beechcraft Alpha Sierra. X-ray Golf Sierra Kilo taking off runway 5 departure to the west. 4 Golf 0 traffic Beechcraft Alpha Sierra. X-ray Golf Sierra Kilo taking off runway 5 straight on departure.
Again. I pulled the flaps too early, which you do want to pull the flaps, but that was a little bit too early. For anybody who doesn't know anything about flying, flaps generate lift. However, they also generate drag. So there's like a certain point where you want to pull the flaps because it's slowing you down from increasing the speed.
4 Golf 0 traffic Beechcraft Alpha Sierra. X-ray Golf Sierra Kilo taking off runway 5 departure to the west. Golf 0 traffic Beechcraft Alpha Sierra. X-ray Golf Sierra Kilo taking off runway 5 departure to the west. Approach Beechcraft Alpha Sierra. X-ray Golf Sierra Kilo 2 miles north of 4 Golf 0. Request IFR to Pittsburgh. Ready to copy.
Beechcraft Alpha Sierra. X-ray Golf Sierra Kilo is cleared to Pittsburgh Airport as filed. Squawk 0745.
Beechcraft Alpha Sierra. X-ray Golf Sierra Kilo cleared to Pittsburgh Airport as filed. Squawk 0745.
Beechcraft Golf Sierra Kilo, read back correct. Radar contact 2,600 feet. Altimeter to 9er, 2 turn right heading 285. Resume on navigation climb and maintain 12,000 feet.
Alright, 2 turn right. 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 2
Turn right heading 285. Proceed on course, climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Beechcraft Golf Sierra Kilo.
Beechcraft Golf Sierra Kilo, contact Pittsburgh. Approach on LNE 24.15.
Landing gear.
124.15 for Beechcraft Golf Sierra Kilo. Pittsburgh approach Beechcraft Alpha Sierra. X-ray Golf Sierra Kilo is climbing through 2,800 feet for 12,000 feet.
Beechcraft Alpha Sierra. X-ray Golf Sierra Kilo, Pittsburgh approach. Continue as planned. Altimeter 29.902. Beechcraft Golf Sierra Kilo. You are 15 miles east. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 28 left approach via Kosla transition. Clear to Kosla. Beechcraft Golf Sierra Kilo, climb and maintain 4,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 28 left approach via Kosla transition. Clear to Kosla. Beechcraft Golf Sierra Kilo.
Beechcraft Golf Sierra Kilo. You are ONE 2 miles east of Pittsburgh. Contact Pittsburgh Tower on 135.025 when inbound on the approach.
Tower on 135.025. Beechcraft Golf Sierra Kilo. Pittsburgh Tower. Beechcraft Alpha Sierra. X-ray Golf Sierra Kilo 10 miles east inbound. ILS runway 28 left approach.
Beechcraft Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra Kilo, Pittsburgh Tower. Cleared ILS runway 28 left approach. Altimeter 29.9 to wind 280 at tree.
Cleared ILS runway 28 left approach. Beechcraft Golf Sierra Kilo.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Airport information, Whiskey.
One 130.775 for Beechcraft Golf Sierra Kilo.
Well, I actually want to pop up WoW and play triple monitor. I haven't done that before. I have to join my wife and make my dogs food for the evening, so I've been streaming for 2.5 hours roughly. Yep, a little over 2.5 hours. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. We actually capped out about, I think, what is the most viewers? A total of 80 people have chimed into the stream, so that's pretty cool. As always, this is Steve from Big Head Tech, and I'll see you all later on down the road.